Bling. Alrighty. Welcome, people. Mi gente, ¿cómo estamos hoy día? People, we are back again with Highly Unoffended. Hope everything is well today. What's today's date? Today is March the 10th. All right. Today, people, Tim, how you doing?
Doing great, man. Thanks for asking.
All right. Yeah, Ramon's a little under the weather today. We're sending some positive vibes.
Big shoes to fill.
Exactly. So we got we got our my man in the house, white boy Tim, in the house with us today. He'll be rocking and rolling with us today. Today we got we got a deep story. We got a great guest. Somebody put this guy on my radar, and this came together like, damn, you can't buy a house this quick. But this came together. Today we got a local Connecticut guy. His name is Mike Panus. And I'm the first guy to break my own rule here. And start again.
Yeah.
Yeah, we weren't recording there, but we're back. The people telling me that I wasn't recording or something. Don't worry. I'll get this technological stuff right one of these days. But today we got a good story, people. We got a really profound, I got to tell you, man, I had no problem reading this. And it was serious. We're going to let him tell the story today. We're gonna kick the tires and drive it around the block. If you got some youngsters, young bucks in your life, this is definitely something you want to throw their way. Tell them to put the freaking video games down for freaking a minute or two and listen to this, because this guy got something to say. So without any further ado, we got today with us Mr. How'd you say your last name? I want to get it right.
Mike Panus.
Mike Panus. Mike, how you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you, Jimmy.
Yeah, thank you for taking the trek at the studio, coming seeing us today here live. We always like being in. We like having the home advantage. We can take care of our guests that way. So Mike here's got a book with us today. It's called Live with Honor. Please check it out on Amazon. Fantastic book. Definitely not a light read. I'm definitely, you guys already know me. I don't read anything if there's no meat on the bone. You just don't call me and it's like, oh my God, I'm just here having a cappuccino and reading. Oh my God. I'm here on my Chase Lounge. No, I'm not on my daybed reading, bitch. It's got to have some substance to me. And Mike's story here has definitely got some stuff. So please check it out. So Mike, what side of the state you're from? Let people know.
I'm in the quiet corner up in northeastern Connecticut, a little bit north of Norwich. I live in a town called Plainfield. Yeah. All
right, Plainfield. I've been there one time. I've been there one time, and it was kind of scary.
Yeah, there's not much there. It's pretty rural, and it's where I grew up, and it's home though.
I went to go see CZ when he was playing at Music Lady.
Oh yeah, I live about 200 yards from
Okay, so I'll tell you the story real quick. So I pull up to so it was a Saturday night, and I didn't have to work. I had no security, no music gigs. So it was a Saturday night. I said, let me go see my boy. He's playing with a band at the Music Lady. Cool. Punch it in the GPS. I'm gone.
Yeah.
Cool. So I pull up to this place, and I knew I should have took off when there was nothing but Ford and Dodge trucks there. And I was like, all right, cool. So I pulled up. The guy at the door, real big boy. He's like, can I help you? Yeah, So I said, oh, the band's playing. How long they been on? He's like, they just started. I'm like, ugh. Now I got to wait for the set. So I walk in there, man, and it's like the record scratch at the high school dance. They definitely ain't used to my kind of up into that establishment.
Yeah, it's definitely, I don't go there.
That's man. I walked around that place. I was looking for Patrick Swayze, man. Because they all looked at me, and I got nominated most likely to get his ass kicked real quick that night.
Yeah.
But yeah, needless to say.
You grew up in your bed and you were afraid of Plainfield?
Dude, yeah. Dudes were there on dates with their sister. What the fuck you want me to do, bro? I'm not used to that. but then it's funny because later down the road at a party, it's the two owners. I meet they're a couple.
Yeah.
I meet the dude and his wife, nicest people, and I tell him. And the guy's like, dude, next time you show up, come to get me. So yeah, that's my electric lady, music lady?
Music lady.
Music lady, yeah, that's
No, electric blues out in the middle of the state. You got the two confused.
I used to live I used to live right over there easy. So you're from that side of the state, homegrown,
Yeah.
schooled out there, and you know what I mean. You haven't had an easy life, bro. If anybody has had adversity, man, you know you've been tested. You have definitely. You ought to have a UL sticker on your shoulder or something,
Yeah.
because you've definitely been kicked in the shin.
Yeah. I just think, life throws things at you, and it's just
But never too much.
No, I think we just get just enough of what we can handle, and luckily I've been blessed with a strong mindset. And
Because your life started off hard from your birth.
yes, it did. My mom and dad were living in Plainfield, and my sister was a little bit older than 1 year, and my mom was 6 months pregnant with me and realized she was sick, so my dad brought her to the hospital. They took me out 6 weeks early, and my mom was diagnosed with cancer, and I was premature, and my mom passed away 30 days after I was taken out. And actually in 10 days will be the day that my mom passed away. March 20th is the anniversary of my mom passing away. And when you grow up, you never really understand the seriousness and how much it affects you as a person, losing your biological mother. I was so lucky to have a mom that my dad married and adopted my sister and I, and I had a great life growing up, but I didn't really understand it until I was like second or third grade, where my mom passed away, and this was my stepmom. I don't like using that term because my mom raised me and she's my mom, but
Fabulous.
and just I kind of go back and forth a little bit. Please bear with me, but being a parent myself now, you realize how important being a parent is, and I really miss part of who I'm made. Like I'm made up of half of a person that I never spent any time with, and didn't get to learn about her. So it's always that I wonder and curiosity in your mind growing up. Missing my mom.
Understood. You know what I mean? It's just, it's a blessing. It's a blessing, but at least you were still showing love. So on that side, it did compensate.
Absolutely, yeah. Like my mom now, she gave my mom and dad. I talk about it in my book. They gave me the best life possible. I was always hunting and fishing and playing sports and stuff, and I always remember getting new fishing pole for Easter. Getting new tackle. My dad bought me this amazing rifle. When I was in the Marines. So yeah, I know I'm touching bases all over the place so far, but yeah, my parents gave me everything that they could, the best they could, and gave me the best life possible.
So you're definitely a big sports guy. You're all over the place with that. School, just a normal upcoming.
No, I wasn't normal. That's for damn sure. I was far below normal growing up. I do talk about it today because I was always very talkative in class. Always, cracking jokes, trying to take attention away from the teacher. I guess first grade, second grade, third grade, fourth grade, every grade. My desk was moved up near the teacher's desk, and every time the phone rang, this is back when we had the phones that hung on the wall back in the day, and every time the phone rang around.
You mean like that?
Yeah, no, not quite like that one, almost, but the old school, you spin the dial phones, and the phone would ring around dinner time, and there would be the teacher, and I'd be running up to my room, and yeah, Michael, was disruptive again today in class. We're gonna move his desk up. And it was a constant theme in my life, and now I'm like, look, being talkative in class, look what it's turned into. I go out and speak at schools and military bases and corporate event functions. And, you have to use the gifts that you have in life. Unfortunately,
Got to play the cards you dealt.
exactly. Unfortunately, I had to go through some really tough things, and wish I could do over for sure. But I've always realized turning it into a positive and giving back.
Because I see, like in your book, the first time you were getting ready to go to the Marine Corps, you blew out your shoulder. Luckily, at a young age where you could bounce back.
Yeah.
Because at this age, none of us bouncing back at this age from a shoulder injury.
Wait a second. I'm living proof you can bounce back from the shoulder.
Yeah, no, I had it. Yeah, I mean, all I knew was being Marine. So I'll go back to your question about school. I was not really the most motivated student, getting straight A's. I just was kind of a class clown, going through enjoying the social aspect of school more than the studying. But,
so how did the class clown get lost at Panus?
Oh man, what do you mean get lost?
Well, obviously you ain't clowning around at Panus.
Oh no. So yeah, I guess I follow instructions pretty well. I'm very obedient when the
Getting your ass kicked is an incentive, man. Getting your ass kicked is an incentive.
tough love. That's the best way I review.
Fear, pain, and hunger, powerful motivators.
Yeah. So yeah, when I was a sophomore in high school, I realized I wasn't going to college. I was like, my sister was honor society. She did real well in school. And me, I'm like, man, only smart people go to college. I'm not doing that. So I enlisted in the Marine Corps. My parents had to sign before you're 18. And they were like, thank God. Yes, send them to the Marines. And I went into the Marines. But like you said, I injured my shoulder. And then my whole life got flipped upside down. I didn't think I was going to be able to get in. And I had to, rehab my shoulder. And luckily, I ended up getting back in and shipped out almost a year after I graduated high school.
Nice. So you went in the Marines. You had a good time. You learned a lot of stuff. You learned some discipline.
Yeah, I still remember, like, shipping off to boot camp. I can still remember that morning, like being up at 3:30 in the morning. I remember the Gunny Yateman picked me up, brought me up to Springfield, Mass. I mean, I still remember it like it was yesterday. And I talk about it in my book. When we get to the airport in South Carolina, there was drill instructors waiting there for us. And it's like, how the heck do they even know that I'm going? Like, I'm on a plane with a bunch of other people. How do they know? They come running right up to you. They form you in the airport. And from that time on, every second of your life, it was scheduled. There was an itinerary, and it was an amazing time. Like, I love boot camp. I was able to, like, get yelled at and work out. And I'm like, this is fun. So yeah, I enjoyed boot camp.
Nice. So so during the Marine Corps, your book, I see that's when you started your studies.
Yes, I was stationed in New Orleans, Louisiana.
That was a hard place to study. Good Lord.
That's another that comes into play very much in the story later on. Here I am, Plainfield, Connecticut, music lady, and then I get stationed in New Orleans, Louisiana. I'm like, holy, what in the heck is going on? And it was a lot of fun.
What's this thing they call a hurricane in a glass?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, no kidding. I just loved going out and having fun and socializing, and that was definitely a good city to be with Marines that like to go out and have fun. And we took full advantage of that time.
Yeah,
Sure.
Yeah,
we went on Bourbon Street every night, pretty much. Didn't get any sleep. PT in the morning, 05:30, hadn't even been to bed. And I mean, you're 19, 20 years old, and you don't feel anything. And I had a lot of fun in the Marines. Yeah, for sure. But I never, I took the Marine Corps seriously, my job that needed to be done, but I always found time, when I
work hard, play hard.
Exactly.
Because you said even up to your grandfather and all been military guys, right?
Yeah, my dad, my grandfather, my great grandfather. Yeah, my dad was, a Marines in 69 to 72. Not a lot more difficult than it is today. I'm Salvation Army myself. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I was just talking to a guy I was working with today. Not everyone serves in the military, and it just gives me an appreciation of this country.
I wasn't ready for it. You know what I mean? I looking now, like when I became an officer and when I was working with a lot of law enforcement, they were like, dude, why didn't you ever join? Why didn't you in reserves? And I'm like, and I was just like, I said, at the time I just wasn't, it just wasn't what I wanted to do.
Yeah, I think.
But I worked with so many cool men and women, and they all told me, you would have excelled. You know how to take an order and give an order. You would have been fine. I'm like, all right, I guess.
Yeah, no looking back. Everything happened in your life the way it happened. And like me injuring my shoulder, being able to get into the Marine Corps, and just everything. That brings me to a point that I love talking about is acceptance. Life is all about acceptance.
Own your shit.
Yeah, I mean, something happens to you have to take full responsibility and accept it and move on. There's no, like I should have done this or have a regret during that. I think that helps me mentally deal with a lot of things, is just accepting everything, how big or small it is, and moving forward.
Me and Tim will talk a lot about owning your shit and how, so, it's so funny how many times we end up talking and it goes back to that. We always said to him, yeah, we're back here again.
Yeah, believe me, I screw up every damn day. I screwed up today, and you know what? I'll say I'm sorry, and I mean it genuinely. And like sometimes I have sometimes I get a little bit excited about things and share my opinion and speak out a little bit about it. And we all make mistakes, and you have to own your shit and then move on.
It's like, as a trainer, I would always tell new guys, I'm like, look, man, everybody's gonna mess up. And I go, when you mess up, you're better. They're more likely to forgive a mistake than a lie.
Yeah.
And I used to tell guys, you just take it for what it's worth. And you'd have guys trying to make up stories and fabricate, and it was like, and they would just dig a hole for themselves. And I'm like, dude, you should have just said, hey, man, because anybody who's in a position now of judging you, they've been in your shoes.
Yeah.
So
integrity.
Integrity, exactly.
It's like I suck at playing poker. I can never lie. It's like I wear my emotions on my sleeve, and it's like sometimes that's good and bad. I think it's a good trait to have, but I tell it how it is. That's my way of saying it. I have integrity. I tell it how it is.
So you left the Marines, decided to hit the books. You wanted to.
Yeah, I ended up getting an associate's degree from a community college out in New Orleans called Delgado Community College. And let me just speak a little bit about the Marine Corps. I met some amazing people in the Marines. I'm so grateful. Like I want to mention Colonel Richard D. Coulter. He's an amazing guy. He's like one of probably the best Marine that I ever met. He was a full bird colonel, flew all the time, and just looked at me. And here I am, a lowly E1, E2, E3, and he always treated me with respect. And that's not very familiar in the Marine Corps. Like you don't really interact with officers, high up officers. But Colonel Coulter, I still have a good relationship with him today. He wants me to go down and visit him and play golf. He lives down in Louisiana now. I had been down there a few years ago. He's one of the big, mentors that I've had in my life, and a few other people. I'm just so lucky to have been cross paths with some amazing Marines that I keep in touch with all the time. Yeah.
How important do you think mentors are?
I think it's extremely important because this brings me to a point, we all can't do everything on our own. We need to reach out to other people and ask for a little bit of advice and help. And, sometimes it's good for me to call someone and talk to them about whatever it is that's going on in my life.
Just to see another side of it.
Exactly.
I had a great mentor in life. I get choked up talking about it. I just believe at a certain age, when you acquire a certain amount of wisdom, you got to send the elevator back down for the next cat. And if you could do something for somebody, and maybe doesn't like necessarily do something, or maybe they won't do something that's gonna screw them in the long run.
Yeah.
I think it's our duty, and that's why I try to always give an insightful word to a young buck, to especially like a lot of my boys, they got their own kids, and I tell them you can't be a prophet in your own village.
Yep.
I could tell them the same thing you tell them, but they'll listen to me and they won't to you because you're their dad and you say the shit every day.
Yeah.
But I'm Jim. I'm the one that smacks them up, chokes them up a little bit.
Yeah.
And
Jimmy, on that point, exactly, like that's on a high level, having a mentor kind of like deep, but it's like how I go about my life on a daily basis, like going into a gas station and cracking a joke and to like talking to random strangers. That's how, like, people just need to realize, some people are having bad days that you cross paths with. And I just find it, I love being able to make someone smile or make someone laugh or whatever, you know, and that's what everyone, I think if they focused on, you know, trying to be kind and
Well, you know, people don't realize the power they have over somebody else, that in 1 second you can make or break somebody's day. You could piss that person off there. You just, you know, the whole day they're sour, or maybe you just said a good morning and maybe got them off to the right step.
Yeah.
So I think mentoring is just so huge, and you know, if you know you're living right, you're living in your lane, man. Try to help. You know, I always say HBO, help a brother out.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, try to help the next motherfucker out, man, because it's what it should be like. So you left the Marine Corps, you start hitting the books. I see you're working as a bartender at some swanky place. You're pouring booze to the socialites and shit like that.
Yacht club.
At the yacht club, yeah.
Yeah, I don't call anyone ma'am anymore because I work there. They said, no, excuse me, it's miss. And I'm like, okay, I call everyone miss or young lady now. Oh, yeah, they broke me in real quick, you know. But, you know, being in the Marines, it's ma'am and sir. And then my first time there, I was like, oh. Yeah, I mean, I got that job. It was awesome. I was working as a valet attendant at the casino at Mohegan Sun while I was going to college. It was like my first job out of the Marines. And I saw this doorman, you know, the guys that rip the tickets and say, okay, I'll take your luggage and go. So this guy was like, man, you ever been a bartender? Have you ever thought about being a bartender? I'm like, I saw the movie Cocktail. I mean, I love that movie. Tom Cruise.
Watch yourself. I'm a bartender for life. That's our holy grail right
there.
Cocktail.
I loved the fact that or the thought of being a bartender, but I was like, man, I have no experience. You know, like I drank beer for 4 years in the Marines. That's the only drink I know. But yeah, he ended up getting me in touch with his brother, and I got hired the first day. I had no class on Friday. I showed up there. He's like, hey, can you work tonight? Worked some huge Italian wedding and 150 people, and I'm still friends with the family my first night. Yeah, Larry and Sherry, their daughter, got married. Yeah, my first night working at the bar.
First rule of bartending, make it red. If you don't remember, put grenadine in it, they'll probably drink it because everybody likes the color red. That's what I was told by my bartending guy. He goes, if you don't remember what's in it, he goes, just put red. I go, why is that? He goes, everybody likes the color red. And they'll let you slide on it. Yeah. He goes, but the next time come up, you better have it right.
But yeah, I was going to college and bartending, just loving life, you know, making pretty good money at the yacht club and studying hard in college.
So you're working, you're studying.
And don't forget going out every opportunity that I had. Yeah, going out, having fun, you know, with my friends in college, you know, every night. Can't miss Thursday, you know, that's the best.
Thursday?
That's the best. We used to always go to UConn, you know, Huskies bar.
Husky Blues, yes.
Yeah, just it was, you know, I like to go out and have fun, and always love the social environment and crowd, you know.
At that age, who doesn't? Who doesn't unless, you know, I mean, everybody likes stepping out. At that age, you know, it's a beautiful thing. So, let's go to it.
Yeah, so I remember that. I still remember that weekend. I was working the Super Bowl. I picked up a couple shifts. I remember I was working Super Bowl Sunday and Saturday. So the only night I could go out was Friday night. So it's the first week back. I spent the whole week in, like, this is back when they had, like, I didn't even have my own laptop in college. This is how long ago it was. I didn't even have my own laptop. And we went to the computer lab, and I was in the computer lab doing group projects all week. And finally Friday hit. I go to the gym. I'm actually working out at the same gym now that I was going to back in high school and college in my town, Flex Fitness. And I saw my buddies in the gym, and I saw my friend Bo Gear and Rich Bronson. They were in there, and like Rich and I had talked about going out together, like for like a couple of years. But he had a part-time job. I had a part-time job. He went to Eastern as well as I did. And he grew up like in the next town over. So he was like our high school rivals in town. And we never really became close friends until we started working out together at the gym, or seeing each other at the gym and going to the same school. So he's like, hey, Mike, what are you doing tonight? And I'm like, oh, me and my friends are going up to UConn. And he said, cool, can I join you? And I said, sure, I'll pick you up later on. So I left the gym, had a bite to eat. I still have like a little bit of memories of like what kind of transpired. I left the house, and my mom's like, "Hey, Michael, be careful. The roads might be icy later." I'm like, "Hey, yeah, Mom, I'll see you later."
You're
Just like,
bulletproof. How old are you? Because you're how old are you?
I was 24.
So you're bulletproof. You nothing hurts you.
I just got out of the Marines, E5 sergeant in the Marines. About ready to graduate college, which I told you earlier, and I only thought dorks went to college. So here I am doing well in college. I was a National Leadership Honor Society. Just couldn't believe that I was going to be graduating. So I started my last semester and wanted to go out and celebrate. And I left the house and I picked up Rich at a birthday party. It was his friend's girlfriend's 20th birthday. So I stopped, left my house, picked up a 6-pack of beer up in northeastern Connecticut back in 2005. Like a lot of people, would have a drink and don't think twice about driving. And that was me. I had done it plenty of times before. And we stayed at the birthday party, had a beer, and then we met my other friends and headed up to UConn, on campus at UConn to go out at Huskies. Cold ass night. I remember it was freezing. Like I remember the night before Thursday it had snowed a few inches, and then Friday it was like wicked cold. And we left the bar and ended up stopping at Subway. Store 24 right at the beach. Like I don't know if you guys are familiar with. Yeah, now it's all high-end restaurants and condos and
There
apartments.
was nothing back there.
Yeah, it was.
I used to go up there to work a lot of the parties, and I remember just that road. I remember how dark it was
Yeah,
going into UConn.
yeah,
And now it's so developed because
completely different. Yeah, so we stopped at that gas station. We got something to eat, and I drove home. And my friend Rich was in there in the car. My friend Nick and my friend. I think my friend Josh was with us too. So we dropped off my friend Nick on our way home, and Josh, and then me and my friend Rich were on our way home. We had driven already almost 40 minutes at this time, and I was less than 15 minutes away from home, coming down the small rural roads in Connecticut, and my car hit a patch of black ice. I spun off the road. I hit a tree. I got ejected from the vehicle. Didn't have my seatbelt on.
How far?
It was like around 20 feet. I was laying in the snow in someone's front yard, and it was freezing cold that night. And laying in the snow, some kid came across my car like probably 20 minutes or so after the accident. It's 3-4 in the morning, and called 911, and the EMTs and police showed up and rushed me and my friend Rich to the hospital, and actually Rich was pronounced dead on the scene, my good friend, and I was in rough shape in the hospital, suffering life-threatening injuries myself, in a coma for a few days.
I see you ended up with a punctured lung, broken hand, broken shoulder. You were in a coma for 4 days. Wow.
Yeah.
So after 4 days, obviously, you're medicated up. You're in a big blur. When do the boys with badges show up?
So my mom and dad told me, when I was in the hospital that Rich died in the accident. And here I am still in the hospital, brain injury. And I'd be after they had just told me that Rich died, I'd be like, oh man, I hope Rich is doing better than me in the hospital. I'm like, this sucks, I hope Rich is doing better than me, and didn't put 2 and 2 together. And, went home, rehabilitated. My parents helped me out and realized, the tragedy that I caused and the consequences. And then, the 2 state police showed up to my house. My dad called me. I was out fishing and I had to turn myself in. I went to Troop E in Montville and got fingerprinted and charged with second-degree manslaughter with a motor vehicle on the influence of alcohol, facing up to 10.5 years in prison. So being a Marine in college and going out one night had completely, flipped my life upside down, and not to mention the fact that I'm responsible for my good friend to be, no longer on this earth and have to live with that, for the rest of my life.
That's a hard pill to swallow.
Yeah.
Hard pill to swallow.
It's, I would do anything to take back that night. And, you know, thankfully, I've had a lot of healing and forgiveness from Rich's family. I would not be sitting here and talking about this at all if I hadn't had their forgiveness and being able to move on and speak about a message to help other people make a better choice than I did. That's what it really has turned into.
Wow. So how long did your judicial case take in court?
It took almost 2 years.
Yeah, I saw that when I read it in the book. I had to go back and double check a date. I'm like,
Yeah, went to court. You know, my attorney was involved in just trying. You know, like I was
even that was South End, the attorney.
I've known. You know, like there's everything happened the way it was supposed to happen. You know, Jimmy, there's no amount of years that someone can spend in prison to make up for the decision that I made and the loss of my friend. I mean, you can't put an amount of years on someone's life, and everything that happened was meant to happen the way it happened.
That's so yeah, you know, so in your book, you know, you see how you know, your attorney, there was definitely some slacking on his side, and then, you know, then some other stuff. You know, I tell people all the time, I'll never forget the first time a correctional door closed behind my back. The first time I heard the clunk at the maximum prison go clunk, and I go, this shit just got real.
Yeah.
And you know, I'd never been inside, and you know, and so they freaking take, because you said you didn't want to make bond, you went right in.
I went right in.
They process you in.
May 1st, 2007.
You know, you get strip searched. They give you some nice inmate tans, just like the ones they wore at the Super Bowl. Yeah.
Yeah.
Real nice. You'd never see that at a soccer game overseas, but I won't get into that right now. Real nice NFL. Soft fuckers. Sorry. Just disgusted with the NFL.
Highly unoffending, don't apologize.
Just disgusted with it. But so you ended up going in. Never thought this was going to happen, huh? Never thought it was going to go that way, because you said in your book you felt pretty good about it.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't about not going to prison. It was just I was just ready for everything to start. I was ready to start my punishment.
So it could be over.
Just move on. You know, like going forward in my life. You know, I never ever didn't think that I shouldn't go or wouldn't go. It was just the fact that when you're going through the legal process, you're just in limbo. You know, you don't know what's going to happen. You know, like I graduated college. I lived up in Boston, and you know, didn't even get a real college graduate job because I didn't know what was happening. Like if I was going to have to leave, so I was just ready to, you know, pay my suffer the consequences that I deserved and move on in my life. That's where my mind was at that point.
First night in prison, tell me.
Oh man, I don't know if I can tell you exactly how it was, but I remember the hardest. I think one of the hardest days was when I got sentenced to 5.5 years. You know, I had all my friends and family there, and you know, I was eager to, you know, go out and be a positive contributing member in society. And when I got sentenced to 5.5 years, I remember they let me have my own little cell down there in the holding tank in Norwich Courthouse. And I was like, damn, that's a long time. You know, 5.5 years is a long time. And trying to think of it that way made it longer, but I just kind of came up to the realization that one day at a time. And that's kind of how I live my life that way every day, like 1 minute at a time, 1 day at a time. And I did it, you know, 1 day at a time, and look forward to the next positive thing in my life. And that's what helped me get through.
But you were looking at 10 years, you said?
The maximum was over 10 years. Yeah, I think it was 10.5 actually. So, I mean, I went to a trial. I went to a full-blown jury trial. And that judge, you know, Judge Strackmine, I know her name today. I know the prosecutor's name too. You know, they could have given me the maximum. You know, normally when someone brings a case to trial and they're found guilty, they get like pretty close to the maximum, amount of punishment. So yeah, it was tough. And there's even things in my book about in there that the judge foreman of the jury, I ended up bumping into him, and he came to my pardon hearing. And I was like, what in the heck? Yeah, he wrote a letter and wanted to speak, but he couldn't speak, and waited for me after I got out, after I got a complete pardon. Yeah, my case and my story had a big impact on more lives than I could have ever imagined. And, he was a teacher, and he would share my story with some of his students. And, he said those kids listened, like intently. And, I just hope I have the same sort of effect on people when I go and speak.
When you went for your parole, what was it like to have Rich's parents speak for you? Because I know in the book it says, the first time you went to, that they came to see you, to talk to you.
Yeah, Rich's dad came and saw me through the glass. That was so grateful. Like they could have easily went on in their lives and never wanted to speak with me or ever wanted to, have forgiveness. And like I said, I would not be sitting here. I wouldn't have published a book. I'm going to go out and speak if that was the case, and I'm forever grateful, and I can't even begin to tell you how thankful I am for the forgiveness. And, I cried pretty hard that day when I was able to, tell my friend's dad how sorry I was, and I would do anything to take it back. And, him and his wife, they said, Michael, it's how you're going to live your life from here on out is what's going to be the relationship between you and I. And, that's what I never forget every single day.
Wow. So you got on parole. When did you decide that you had to do this route? When did it hit you?
Man, probably working for sales companies that I couldn't stand. And I worked in sales for quite a while. And
Now hold on a second. Let me back up. When you were inside, just for the listeners, one of the best jobs to have in a correctional setting is what they call outside clearance. That means you get to go outside and shovel snow,
cut
grass. You're outside, and as your kid doesn't want to go outside and shovel the driveway, but you ask a prisoner to go outside and do it, he'll stay out there all day with no snowblower.
I remember the best job I ever had was scraping and sanding off dumpsters and painting them, and we got pizza that day. So I'm like that was the best day of the day.
So as an outside clearance worker, these guys get to go outside and they're not stuck in the unit. They got some sun on their face.
Breathing fresh air.
You're breathing fresh air. But Mike, a big question. What was it like to be there at Brooklyn cutting grass, leaves on Route 6? And you're looking at a road that you used to drive down in your vehicle with a coffee, radio blaring.
Brooklyn Fair is literally right beside the fairgrounds. I grew up going to the Brooklyn Fair. I would see my friend's parents drive by and beep. I knew what car she drove. White Ford Explorer. My friend Josh there's mom drove by. She was going to work every day, and I saw people that I knew and grew up with.
So what was that, man? You're there, and you're in your neighborhood. You're in your side of the woods.
Yeah, Jimmy, it was all mindset. From the first day in there, my mom and dad, we came up with this is one day at a time. I was optimistic and happy like this while I was incarcerated. No shit. Ask Shabinas, ask any one of those guys that in there. And, I just had the ability to just shut my mind off to the outside world and do what I needed to do on the inside and look forward to the day when I got out. So it didn't really faze me.
What was your first speaking engagement?
Oh man. If you remember in my book, I put at the end, I put free and inmate. So I had done my first speaking engagement was when I was not even incarcerated yet. I went and spoke at the local high school. It was like the alternative high school in Plainfield. So I did that one first, and then I was the inmate that went out to schools in the local area because I told them how much I want to go and speak to high schools, and luckily I had an awesome counselor that, believed in me. And I would go to local high schools as an inmate. I ended up going to speak with Rich's dad at the sub base when I was able to go out. And you want to talk about a powerful speaking engagement in front of like 2,500, Navy soldiers. You could hear a pin drop in that audience.
Now, when you speak, especially to the young cats, you think they pick up the gravitas of what you went through? You think they pick? Do you think they're picking up what you're laying down?
Jimmy, I know that I'm not gonna go into an audience of 2,000 people and say everyone that's gonna walk out of there is never gonna make the decision that I made. But I hold on to the thought that, you know what, maybe my story, me telling it, is gonna touch 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 people. And it's all a mentality. I always use the like reference or the analogy. Not everyone is gonna go out and rob a bank today. And literally, the guy that I worked out with in Brooklyn robbed the bank and got the same amount of time as I did. Same amount of time.
At these gas prices, I've been contemplating it. I gotta tell you,
Yeah.
I've been, I drive a V8, man. Times are tough, man. We're gonna chip in and get you a gas card for driving down here. Shit.
Man, I'm not worried about it. I'm just grateful for the opportunity. And but no, just I know that I have a gift and able to speak to people and share a powerful message. And I know that I've made an impact on people's lives, because when people reach out to me afterwards, when I speak, that's just what is the most important to me. It's being able to, like we said, being a mentor, giving back, help a brother out.
It's just, you're not regurgitating something you read. You're not just, and I hate to use the term, but you're not all theory. You are it. You are the real deal.
Yeah.
So what you're talking about, this ain't something you heard, and you're just giving your outlook on a topic. Oh my God, I want to speak on this today.
Yeah, that's why I love being in person and going and do live, events, and it just you just feed so much more off the energy of the crowd, and I'm so excited to get back out there this year and do a few more speaking engagements.
I don't know, man. I think what do you think, Tim? I think every high school should have him out there, colleges, and what you went to jail for, man. I'll keep it real. I'm not gonna say I've never been there.
Yeah.
I've never done it. You know what I mean? Ramon, who usually sits here, great guy, he's listening right now. He's waiting on the phone. And, we've been hanging out since the 4th grade. So, we got idiot stories, a mile long.
Yeah.
And I just think, these kids really need to hear some real shit from somebody who's been there, done that, got the t-shirt to prove it.
And Jimmy, to be honest with you, it's not only kids these days. A positive mindset is where my story kind of transitioned to today. Believe me, it hasn't been easy. I quit, my full-time job, ended up publishing a book. I was driving for Uber, literally, to pay my bills and keep my food for my daughter and I, which I didn't really touch base on. That book is dedicated to my little daughter, Bella Panus, who's 7 years old. And that girl is the light of my life, and I will continue to be a great role model to her and show her, Bella, one day you're gonna make a mistake, but you know what? It's up to us to pick ourselves up.
Well, I think what you're showing her, what she's picking up on, there's no way that she is not gonna adhere to the message.
Yeah.
Because it's too close to home for her.
Yeah, she definitely, she picks up on a little bit, knowing that not everyone has a book and has book signings and goes and speaks. She actually saw me speak one time at my home high school. She was home that day, and my next door neighbor was a paralegal and or a paraprofessional. My apologies, I misspoke. Paraprofessional, and she watched Bella in the back, and at the end, she came running down and gave me a big hug, and that right there even sends a greater message, I think, to those kids too, because I'm a regular guy, I'm a regular kid just like they were, and I'm a dad, at the end of the day.
Especially, you're especially if you're on your side of town, they're like, well, this guy's from somewhere else. And I think it's like watching the news when people go, oh, that doesn't happen here.
Yeah.
I don't live in a place like that.
Yeah.
Well, can't get no closer to home than this.
Yeah, I paint the picture to the audience I speak to that like this shit can happen to anybody. You know, I didn't go out that Friday night thinking that, you know, I was gonna be responsible for my friend to be taken away prematurely and have to live with the, you know, long repercussions afterwards.
Amazing. You know, that's like I said, when it comes to your daughter, I could tell when I read the book that you're all about her world right now.
Yeah, just giving her the best life possible. And Jimmy, you know, I couldn't be more excited. You know, financially, it wasn't too easy. You know, like I said, I quit my job, driving for Uber and stuff. But, you know, I keep working hard. And just, you know, recently, you know, I have an awesome opportunity, you know, now. And I'm so grateful for it. I love it. You know, got a job with the state and just couldn't be more happy.
How bad do you think it is when, you know, you get out and you have this convicted felon thing on you, and, you know, it's like a bad tattoo that you can't shake? Because, you know, we've had a story too of redemption here, and we're all about it here, so don't think we're one-sided.
Yeah.
But, you know, how bad is that shackle?
Jimmy, to be honest with you, even though, you know, I'm still a person that got behind the wheel of a car and was responsible for Rich to be taken and spent time in prison. No matter what, that will always be there. But the title of convicted felon is something that I'm grateful that I don't have to say anymore. Employment was very hard. Employment, you know, finding a great job, you know, you just get like, you have to check that box and immediately they look at you, you know, like, oh, geez, you're no good. So, you know, I don't.
Who cares that you were in the Marine Corps? Who cares that you had a degree?
Yeah.
You know, this is what you are. That's it.
Exactly. And, you know, I had to, you know, overcome a lot, you know, mentally and, you know, keep pushing. And, you know, luckily I was able to, like, I showed up at that pardon hearing, like I told you, you know, and the judge, I'll never forget it. There was a 3-judge panel and the main judge said, Michael, I've never seen an application or a case like yours. And I'm like, and here I am, a speaker, and have no problem speaking. And they ask you one question when you go to the board of pardons. They ask you one question. They go, Michael, why do you deserve a pardon? Why do you think you deserve a pardon? And I was like, like, because I'm doing good, and no, like I was literally speechless, and did the best, yeah, and just grateful for, you know, Rich's family, you know, being part of that, and me being able to, like, you know, have a state job, have my permit to carry, pistol permit, and I love to hunt, and I got the biggest deer of my life this year. So, yeah, it was exciting.
They said they'd never seen one like that. What did that mean? What was unique about it? Or what was so
Tim, to be honest with you, I'm not sure. You know, maybe because of all the speaking engagements I did when I was incarcerated, and then after I got out, I continued to do it, and you know, continued, like, rather than just leaving it in the rearview mirror and just, you know, trying to turn the page, I continued to try to get back and help out. Possibly, I don't have the exact answer, but I had a charity golf tournament and raised $30,000 for my friend's scholarship foundation. You know, like, so I guess they don't see, like, the victims and the person responsible, you know, like, come together and continue to do, like, such, you know, such positive things. Yeah.
There's judges. They're supposed to be the most objective people out there, right? So
Yeah.
it's good that they can see through all that.
Yeah, I still remember his words, you know, like it was yesterday, and just, I always tell everyone I'm just doing all I know. You know, there's no manual that you can go check out at the library that says, hey, in case this happens to you in your life, here's steps 1 to like 5,000. You know, like, I just put one foot in front of the other and just do the best I can.
Wow. Come on a second. Hold on. So COVID obviously kicked everybody in the shit, kicked my business in the shit hard. So I know that kind of, you know, stopped the travel. So you back out there trying to pound the pavement?
Yeah,
Trying to spread the gospel?
I always tell everyone's like, how do you get your speaking engagements? I'm like, I go knocking on doors, I network, I'm a one-man show.
Go on Highly Unoffended?
Yeah, exactly. Go on podcasts, go on TV shows. Just, I'm literally just starting to get back out there. I have a great job now, and obviously it's going to take up some of my time, but I'll have time to go out there and share a powerful message. I'm hoping to. My goal this year is 15 speaking engagements this year, like before the summer. So I have a few already in the calendar, so my goal is 15 speaking engagements. That's another thing I talk about. Everyone has to set goals for themselves. And if you don't actually have a goal set, you're not really working as hard as you can to achieve that goal. So I'll be a little bit disappointed if I don't have 15 opportunities to go and speak to the
I
world.
don't see an issue with it. I really don't. Especially anybody that can get out there and, watch your clip and see what you bring, especially, like I said, just, not just the young cats, but, anybody, we're all not too old to learn, never.
Exactly.
But,
Do you have a demographic that you prefer to speak to?
I was just telling, your friend over there, Bruno, that my favorite audience is the military, basis, because as soon as I show a PowerPoint presentation or I see a cover of my book, in the military, it's kind of like law enforcement, you earn instant credibility, it's like, oh man, that dude never walked in my shoes before, and it's like, as soon as you, stand in front of an audience of soldiers and you put on those boots every day, you put on that uniform, you're, taking the same time.
maybe your next presentation, you got to bring a pair of inmate tans.
Nah, that's.
No, I don't think there's an impact factor. Dude, Braden was showing.
I have a little PTSD in some things, and I won't eat boiled hot dogs. I won't eat certain things, and I will not wear the color tan.
They don't have a menu with the DLC.
Jimmy, I'm not kidding you. I do not have one thing the color tan, and I will not wear that shit. So no.
Come on, man, you're a white. Do you own nothing from the Gap or Abercrombie?
Yo,
Stop talking. Come on, you're lying.
I wear Abercrombie, and
You got something in khaki. Come on.
I shit you not, I don't wear khaki. I'm not kidding. Anyone that knows me right now watching this, I don't wear the color tan.
I'm a white guy too, Mike. I get you. Just in disregard.
Yo, I got red, I got black on. I don't have no tan. Even my socks and underwear, I don't have any tan.
It's funny because that you say that, I can't eat airplane food because when you put food in those hot containers, that's when they put it in. To me, when they serve food in a plane,
Yeah.
smells like county jail or prison to me. I can't eat airplane food.
Yeah.
So every time the stewardess comes up, sir, would you like fish, beef option, vegan? I'm like, my man, give me another rum and coke and some peanuts.
I'll eat my bag of almonds that I brought on the plane.
I usually get on there with a freaking stick of pepperoni and some crackers or something.
Yeah.
Even my mother's like, really, you won't eat the food? I go, and I tell my mother, I know she's listening right now, she gets all mad. I go, that just smells like inmate food.
Yeah,
and it's so funny because people look over at me, I'm like, yeah, when food's in those hot containers for too long, it smells like prison.
Jimmy, there was things.
Pepperoni in your pocket. I guess now we know the truth.
There was things that I would not eat or do for years, and finally I'm like, yo, screw it, man, I'm just good. But yeah, there's some things
They call it institutionalized.
Heck yeah, it's just like, man, that shit sucks, so I'm not doing it again. And I'm not, if I don't have to eat that shit, I'm not eating it. I have a choice. But anyways, yeah, just I still sometimes think back, how, like you said, some of us are dealt a more difficult hand than others, and it's like, damn, I've been through all that shit, and I'm still fighting the fight, and I wake up every day happy as shit. That's what I do.
Yeah, it's you talk to so many guys that were locked up, and when you talk to them on the outside, they're like, yeah, my job don't suck that bad.
Yeah.
And they're like, dude, yeah, boss says overtime. Okay, I'm there, brother.
I tell people I work with today, I was like, man, I was getting paid $1.25 a day, and I was working a lot hell of a harder than I am now. And you just have to, and a lot of it's great that you bring that up too. Is I never forget where I've been. I know. I get the Cumberland Farms coffee for $1.05. I'm like, this is the best damn coffee I've had. Because that shit you mix up, that's like grains and powdered cream and sugar. I'm like, I had to, that shit sucked, and I get to have good ass coffee now. So people don't understand. You're happy over $1.05 coffee. I'm like, you're damn straight I am.
Cumbies.
It's like I never forget where I came from. Where I've been, and
Mike's like, punch my Cumbies card. I'm working my way towards the freeway.
I got for sponsorship now.
I got Smart Pay, and I always get Cumby gas, and I get free coffee, so that's good for me.
See that?
Yeah,
that's phenomenal. Yeah, especially someone like you weren't living the thug life and being incarcerated. Because I remember seeing guys, you would see a guy like you, come in and, you read his file, the dude's a welder, a carpenter, some shit, and you're like, he's not about this lifestyle.
Yeah.
And it's just like, not good.
It just goes to show you, Jimmy, you know what, it can happen to anybody. Like I tell people I speak with, we're all one bad decision away from being, in the position that I was in. And I may not have been a career criminal, I may not have been a thug, or
And you weren't living that life.
No, I was living a life, but it was also reckless in the decisions that I was making and drinking.
You were 24 years old, man. You know what I mean? I think we're all there. I think we're all there.
You got enough humility to say we made a few mistakes ourselves.
There's nobody holier than thou.
Yeah. Hey, man, we'll see you guys.
There's nobody holier than thou to say, hey, I've never done that. I'm better than that. Slow down, dude.
Yeah, it's just
Slow down with that.
And another point that I'd like to bring up is in 2005, we didn't have, an app on our phone, Uber and Lyft and shit like that. Now there's no damn reason anyone should ever get arrested.
$20 to get you home now, and
it bring there's military bases that I know where my friends are. They have someone, they'll send 2 people out there to come get two
and to bring the car.
to bring the car back.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's like there's no excuse for anyone, but
Especially these athletes that, I don't know why it aggravates me so much, but who's got more capability, more opportunity, has the funds more than they do, and they make stupid mistakes.
Yeah.
Well, I get mad, I guess, when they're carrying guns. I'm like, dude, get a bodyguard.
yeah, exactly.
Pay some dude with training
Just goes to
to
show
carry
you,
a weapon.
doesn't matter who you are, you make bad choices.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people make bad choices every day.
There's a little part here, and I can read out of this book, right?
You can do whatever you
No,
want. Jimmy.
I just, I don't want to.
Yeah, no, you're good, man.
So some guy wrote something here that I really enjoyed, and this is from John Heller, Director Admiral James M. Lloyd Institute for Leadership at the U.S. Coast Guard Academy. And he wrote a little something about you here, and I thought it was so dope. And it said, this man is on a vision quest to change the world with his cautionary message, balancing positivity with the grim realities of the consequences of his actions on February 5th, 2005. As the black ice combined with his blood alcohol content and the tree around the curve on Route 169 in Lisbon. His regret is genuine, his remorse compelling.
Eloquent. Honestly.
Jimmy, we were talking about it before we were on air earlier. I go and speak. I don't read off cards. I don't read off, I have a couple slides with pictures and stuff and points that I touch on, but I speak straight from my heart. Right from the day I woke up from a coma, I knew that I was left here to be able to share a powerful message, and I've never wavered from that at all. And I still, like I told you, I can't wait to go out and speak this year. It's like I get in front of an audience, and it just makes me so happy to know that I'm going to be able to make a difference in people's lives. Yeah.
Yeah, it's insanity how, like you said, one decision could just have a domino effect on so many other lives. So when you use the word selfish, I guess it is properly used as it's a selfish act.
Yeah, because it's that my friend Rich, that his death was avoidable. He should still be here if it wasn't for the choice that I made and got behind the wheel of my car that night. He should still be here with his family, and his family should have been seeing him do all the things that I've done and more. And that's what I keep in my mind, and that's kind of why I named the title "Live with Honor." Like every time I speak with at an event or a school or anywhere, I always ask someone, who here can tell me what the word honor means? Some of them say, living proud or this or that, and all those answers are right. But the message I want to send out there, everyone watching this and anyone that will ever see this video, is living with honor means living for something greater than just yourself. So finding something that makes you a little bit more excited and live better than just Jimmy or just, Tim or just Mike. It's finding something to live for.
Bigger than you.
And me, my mom that passed away when I was born, and my friend Rich are with me every single day. And every decision that I make I hold myself accountable with them with me. So I live my life with honor and, be the best I can.
Richard's family, what do they think about everything you're out here doing?
Well, we speak every now and then, like they've moved on down to Florida and having a good life down there. And, we'll text or whatever, and I'll reach out to them. But, I think they're proud of the life that I've chosen, after that night in 2005. I'm not speaking exactly for them exactly, but I don't think they would have reached out to me and came and spoke at my parole hearing and wrote a letter in my pardon application to help me get a pardon. I will never disappoint them and let them down, and I will continue to live a great life. And I'm just forever thankful and appreciative of everything that they've done for me.
It's quite a story, man, that you got. You said you own it, you live it. You're trying to educate others upon it, because it's serious. And, and I'm glad you're out there, trying to pound the pavement. And, if you could turn just a couple people around, hey, man, that's somebody that wasn't turned around.
Yes, sir.
I remember when I think it was late middle school, we had Len Bias's mother come. I don't know if you know about that.
I heard of them bias, but I didn't know the story.
Yeah.
Was that the one that had a heart attack? No, that wasn't.
Yeah, no.
No, it was a drug overdose.
Oh, was it?
He got drafted by the Celtics.
Yeah.
Went out partying with his boys the night before.
Yeah.
That batch or what? But
Yeah.
killed him.
Yeah, I did remember hearing that.
Yeah. That was that. We had his mom come to our middle school.
Yeah.
And I remember like, oh, you can't get a better speaker than someone that's,
They did.
yeah, someone that's just not regurgitating a book or going over a PowerPoint.
Yeah.
They say, what does T-Mac say about experience? It's something you get right before you needed it.
That's right.
And it's reality. It's surreal.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna all go out, hit some engagements this year, pound the pavement. What else? What else we got in store?
Oh man, just continue to cherish every single day. I have some amazing people in my life that I'm grateful for. My daughter, and just continue to be the best me and go to work hard every single day, and never forget where I've been, and just wake up and be appreciative.
You're very grateful to be back where you're supposed to be.
Yes, sir.
To be back in your lane.
Yeah.
I could tell.
Yeah, I kind of got away from who I was, not being able to go out and speak and not being able to do even stuff like this. So I can't thank you enough, Jimmy, for you reaching out.
No.
And I hope this leads to some other things and continue to network and get my message out there.
Tim, anything from your side, Twitter?
I hope that I think my older son's listening.
Yep.
And or watching or whatever. But these are the exact kind of things I'm always preaching to them. Maybe to exhaustion sometimes. I just hope that some of the stuff gets through. A couple things stood out about you, Mike. One is you're as genuine as the day is long. That's for damn sure. That was apparent right from the start.
Yes, sir.
And of course, we had little conversations beforehand and stuff, and I knew right then. The other thing that I really admire and appreciate is that you've had these mentors along the way. And like one of the things I tell them, life's all about experiences. It's about a collection, and it's about creating a book. And you want people to, of course, this is figuratively speaking, but you want people to read your book. You want it to be interesting, right?
Yeah.
And you recognize these people came through at the Colonel, this one and that one. But you've taken those things, you put them all together, and it's, if I'm off, tell me so, but it's helped you make the person you become. It's enabled you to go out there and do the things you do and preach and turn this thing around and make it positive out of it. And I love that kind of stuff.
Tim, you're 100% correct. Every person that's come into my life has come into my life for a reason. And, those people that stand out and have an impact, that gentleman, John Heller, that you spoke about, he ended up I ended up connecting with him because of another mentor of mine, friend of mine, retired state police officer, commanding officer of the training barrack, the troop. Where do they go when they go to the
Academy post.
He was a command officer of the academy, and Eric Murray. He's one of my good friends, and he's another mentor. He's like kind of like my more current mentor for speaking. He does leadership, seminars all across the country. And Eric Murray is another great guy, and that's how I ended up connecting with John Heller. He's like, oh, I got a friend of mine that it'd be great to touch base with at Coast Guard Academy. Coast Guard Academy is one of the most respectable, honorable military bases in the country, and I've had the opportunity to speak there a few times. So,
Yeah, I went to a school there for 5 days, and what a place.
yeah, it's unbelievable. It's like West Point. It's just an unbelievable academy over there. But Tim, you two are a couple people that I'm grateful that I've crossed paths with today, and I guarantee you we're never going to lose touch. And if your son's watching, and if he ever wants to reach out, please let him know that he, I talk to people. I tell people I'm one of the 1% of human beings that still use a phone to talk on. And
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll text and whatever, but I'm like, yo, pick up the damn phone, have a conversation, and
These guys laugh at me because I'll give you 2 to 3, and after that, I'm like, sorry, dude. If you think we're gonna have a dissertation via text, I go, you got the wrong guy. I've never used an emoji.
Yeah.
If I used an emoji, I gotta go jump off.
I can't say that, but I do like to talk on the phone. But feel free, tell your son to reach out, because you know what, kind of what you were touching on the point. Every single person needs to reach out to something. Ask advice or talk about something in life, and everyone needs to have a couple people in their life that they feel comfortable talking to anything about. And I feel like I've always been that person. Even my friends in high school, they're like, you always able to put yourself in another person's shoes and give a sort of perspective that is kind of unique. And I'm very intuitive, and I kind of can put myself in anybody's shoes to realize, what they're kind of going through, and give them some advice. So yeah, tell them to feel free to reach out.
And like I said, it's weird because you never know what anybody's going through. And that's what I try to tell people. It's you might decide you're going to give somebody the middle finger because they cut you off or something, and I'm like, you don't know what that guy's going through, and today might not be your day.
Yeah.
That you're gonna call him and all of a sudden, I don't know if you ever seen the movie Falling Down with Michael Douglas.
Doesn't ring a bell.
Put it on homework.
Yeah.
And it's a dude who loses his job, and in the middle of LA rush hour, he just gets out of his car, leaves it there, and starts he's divorced, and he's walking to his ex-wife because he wants to drop off a gift for his daughter.
Yeah.
And what conspires in the movie is just crazy.
Yeah.
It's called Falling Down with Michael Douglas. Yeah. Check it out. Give me a call. You'd be like, yeah. So I always look at somebody. I go, man, you don't know what that brother's going through.
Yeah.
It might not be your day.
Exactly.
Let it go. It ain't that serious.
That's why I tell people, the mood you're in right now, if something pisses you off, let that shit go. That will eat you up, and life is too damn short. So everybody out there, everyone that knows me and understands my philosophy, let shit go and move on. You have to, I can't stand holding on to shit. So you got to get it out.
Ramon always says, he says in today's world, you bump into some 130-pound dude, and you're like, he ain't gonna do shit. He's some MMA dude. He's some MMA dude when he rips off your arm and beats you with your own arm.
Yeah.
Look at you now.
Yeah, I have nothing to prove to anybody, man. I just want to, move on and keep smiling and have
But
a
were
good
you
life.
always like that, or were you conditioned to be like that from your experiences, whether it's the Marines or the arrest?
I've always been kind of always upbeat and optimistic, but I think it's just kind of tenfold. I kind of joked with you in the beginning. It's confidence. Just being grateful and appreciative of you see the pictures in my book, and you see that it's unbelievable that I'm still here. I wake up every day, and it's how was I left here? Mm-hmm. And when you kind of go through that experience mentally and realize how in the heck am I here? I literally live it every single day. Every second I feel is I always use this term, borrowed time. it's like I'm living on borrowed time.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, I was in a coma, like Jimmy said, traumatic brain injury, 3 broken ribs, punctured lung, broken hand, broken shoulder. You know, like I didn't like walk out of the car and like walking down the street. You know, like I was laying in someone's front lawn. You know, frozen. Yeah.
Bassist Rudy Sarzo from Quiet Riot, White Snake. He has his own podcast, and it's called The Dash.
Yep.
And what he means by the dash is you got your birthday and the day you die. What are you doing with the dash in between?
Exactly.
And that's what he calls his podcast. And I just think that is, you know, I hate him that he took it, that I didn't think of it,
Yeah.
but I'm giving him mad love for it. No. So every time when you say that, you know, I always kind of bring that up because he calls it the dash.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's hot.
Just to make another example, like I was at work today, you know, another guy, and I asked him, I go, what's the date today? And he's like, March 10th. I go, yeah, it's March 10th, 2022. You only get one March 10th, 2022. And that's my mindset every single day. You're only getting one March 10th, 2022, and that's how I live my life. And like, you never know. You never know what could happen, you know. Right now, I didn't want to talk all about it or whatever, but you know, my stepmom is fighting the battle with pancreatic cancer, and she is one of the most strong people that I've ever met, and she's been battling pancreatic cancer for 4 years. And I'm giving my mom a shout out right now, Mom. I love you, and just want to like enjoy so much more time with you. So yeah, just kind of giving that vibe out there. And my mom and dad, you know, my family's struggling, and I love them to death, and I'm gonna do everything I can to be by their side the whole way. But I just want to bring that up. So yeah, like people see me, I'm upbeat and positive and stuff, but I still have things that I'm going on in my life as well, and we all do. And it's up to us to like be optimistic, you know. A lot of people could use that what I'm going through, even my mom being sick, use that as, oh man, I'm gonna go do drugs, I'm gonna go drink, or like my life, you know. Like I completely think opposite. I'm like, man, I want to go to the gym and get in shape for a trip that I'm taking pretty soon.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's about it.
You know, it's there's a meme, and I'll send it to you when I find it. It's in my Instagram, and Henry Rollins has it that it says, "What do you say? There's no such thing as spare time, extra time. There's only lifetime.
Yeah.
Go."
Exactly.
And it's just like, whoa.
I challenge everyone out to live today like you never have it tomorrow, and obviously not recklessly, but cherish every second, you know, and don't hold on to negative shit.
Let it go. Own your shit. Mike, I want to thank you.
Yes, sir, Jimmy.
For taking the trek with us. We're gonna go get dinner right now. We're gonna go break some bread, like human beings. Any last words first, Mike?
Just to finish up, Jimmy, first of all, I want to say thank you so much. I think I connected with 2 brothers today, two brothers, and for sure, you got friend for life. And I just want to thank everyone, and not to like keep, you know, talking about the same thing, but I'm grateful for every person that's coming into my life and the things that everyone has done, you know, starting with the support from my friend Rich's family and my family and all my friends. And I would not be sitting here today. And I can't thank you guys enough for bringing me here.
I want to send a big shout out to my brother Dan CZ. He's the one who put me. He put you up,
Yeah.
and he goes, "Hey man, I think you would click with this guy." And he sent me some stuff on you, and like I said, I spent the weekend watching stuff on you on YouTube, and
Yeah.
And you know, I hit you during the week because you know I don't hit nobody on the weekends because it's just with this technology. It's like people hit me on the weekend, and it's just like, and Tim knows, Tim's laughing already because like guys will hit me like late at night.
Yeah.
And I'm a pompous prick, and I don't even deny it.
Yeah.
And I just write back, "This smells like Monday to me."
Yeah.
And dudes get upset with me because of that. It's like, dude, it's the weekend, man.
Yeah.
You know, you don't know. I don't give a shit if I'm home meditating or if, you know, if I had kids, dude. It's the weekend, bro. You know, let's keep something sacred.
Yeah.
I had one guy call me one day, and he kept texting me, and finally I told him, I said, "Hey man, I don't pick up the phone during the Sabbath." "Oh, I'm sorry." I'm like, what a jackass. And it's just like, so I just try to respect people's weekends. But I appreciate you calling me back, and you know, this came together damn quick. And you know, when I called, you know, him and Ramon, hey, I'm like, this guy's coming up. They're like, this month? I'm like, he's coming up, so. Tim, anything?
The golf tournament you mentioned, is that open to the public and or are you still doing it?
We've done it 3 years in a row, and I'm thinking about doing something again in the future.
Well, if you do, send me up because,
I do.
we'll
What's
get
the
it to
name
you.
of where we find
It
it
was
on the website?
it was the RLB Memorial Fund golf tournament. And,
RLB, Romeo
Richard.
Lima Bravo.
Richard Lee Bronson, the name of my friend.
Or
Yeah.
appropriate.
Yeah. Richard Lee Bronson, and I'm thinking about doing it again in the future, and just something that it was tough for my friend's family, running it and putting a lot of energy into it and stuff like that. So I'm gonna kind of do my own thing and put the charity towards whatever cause that I want it to go to. So
Count me in.
yeah, man.
Yeah, these guys golf, you know what I mean? As
Yeah.
long as you got a trophy for the worst team, that's usually the
Hey,
team I'm
all
on.
I care about is having fun, man. That's all it is. Have fun. That's it. And,
We're pretty good at that, so
Yeah.
I think we fit in our.
Yeah. Who cares?
My pronouns are shenanigans.
Yeah.
I roll like that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this has been another installment of Highly Unoffended. Don't forget, get on Amazon, check out the book, Live with Honor, Turning Tragedy into Triumph. Right there, Copio edition. I got it up on our Instagram. Check it out. Not light reading. You caught the highlights of it today with us today. Once again, people, let's try to be better human beings to each other. Let's try to take care of each other. Good night, America, wherever you're at.
Good shit, man.
Good job, bro. Thanks for keeping it going, man.
That was easy.
Thanks for everything, man. I gotta get a brew.